I had a big weekend this weekend.
What'd you do?
I went to I saw you for one of the days, but you know that. But I went to Los Angeles because we went to meet some editors and some media and press and talk about our year of our shows. We had a great year. It's our 5th anniversary, so we had our. Thank you. So we talked about that. We did that first show we did in Central Park. That was big.
That's great.
The first ever live show outdoors. But then the 5th anniversary show special that we had Tina Fey and Ben Stiller. It was like a behind the scenes of our show, but it was all scripted. But if you haven't seen it, it's funny. It's a tricky show, but it was good. And we talked about obviously the Puerto Rico show. We took our show down to Puerto Rico, and it was great. And it was really fun to. Time to time I go out to LA just to say hi to everybody out there. And we also did a Q&A at the Writers Guild Theater and with Guy Raz, who's the host of How I Built This. You know, if you don't know that podcast, that should be on your list of podcasts. It is one of the best out there. He's phenomenal. But he was so great, and I was talking to him about LA and when I was out there, because I was there for a while doing stuff before I got SNL, just struggling like everyone does. Yeah. But it was fun. I got to see some old friends, and I got to see Tom Rowan, who's my. This guy's been my lawyer since, I think, before we got Saturday Night Live. It was like, you need to get one to get, when you're doing a contract or something. So he's the best. I mean, I've had him for 23 years, 22 years. Anyways, I'm firing him today because I've had,
You've had
more
enough.
thinking about it, I had enough, yeah. No, I'm fed up, yeah. But he's the best guy. I love him so much. And his wife, Marla, they were there in the front row. And it reminded me of the story. They had a dinner party at their house. I used to have dinner with them when I go out to LA. And so he goes, I'm going to have a dinner for you. Come on over. I got Carol Burnett, Bob Newhart, Don Rickles, Tim Conway will be at dinner. So, yeah, so I go over to the house. I open the door, and they're all there. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. It was, like, fantastic. I see, he goes, this is Carol Burnett. I go, hey, Carol, nice to meet you. He goes, this is Bob. I go, hey, Bob, nice to meet you. He goes, this is Tim. And Tim Conway goes, you got to get me the hell out of here. I don't know these people. I don't know who these people are. That was his opening line. Yeah, it was great. So I did that, and we talked about everything we do in the show. And again, thank you to you, Higgins, and the Roots, and all of our crew, and everyone who works hard on the show. It's fun to talk about it. I never really talked that much about the show. But then, after we did all that, it was Friday and Saturday, and then I was trying to fly back because I was nice enough to be asked by the writers to do a cameo in Saturday Night Live this Saturday. So I'm doing LA. And it's my man Adam Sandler is hosting the show. He's my hero, my idol. Adam Sandler is the nicest guy. I just love him so much. He's just a
gentleman,
just a great guy, just loyal, good dad, and just funny and just awesome. I just love him so much. So I heard he was hosting. He's never hosted. I found that hard to believe.
He didn't want to.
That's bizarre.
It's up to him.
But
no one said no.
I guess, but yeah. So he had a crusher of a show, I thought. It was so great. We had Chris Rock was there, who was one of the funniest human beings ever. Kristen Wiig, who was just on a different planet. But I loved his monologue was good. I loved there was so many great sketches. Opera Man. Opera Man's Robert Smigel.
Come on.
Right?
Smigel and Korn, and then Hurley helped on that one.
Tim Hurley was there. Good to see and then so my scene was the Sandler family reunion. So they had all of his family at the reunion, and everyone talks like Adam Sandler. Yeah. But like the fake comedy characters, like, yeah. So I came in. So I came in. Everyone's like, oh yeah. So I came in, and I was talking to Smigel and Hurley before the show because I was like, I want to make Adam laugh. I want to see if I can break him. Because I didn't get to go to rehearsal, but I just landed just in time, came right from the airport, and smelled like airplane, and this came. I'm like, I can't wait, I'm so excited about this. I ran. I didn't run. But I ran to my car.
Well, you ran to your car, yeah.
But then, so I got out there, and I didn't even know where to stand because I didn't rehearse. So I assumed I'd stand next to Sandler, and the cue cards are there, and I'm looking at that. So I came out, and I read the lines, I'm like, and then I figured I could make him laugh because I can do like. He doesn't do that. That's a deep cut. He doesn't do that anymore. But the guy just. So he started laughing a little bit. So, anyways, I'm usually in black ink on the cue cards from our show, but I forgot. I'm not the host. Yeah. So the host is in black ink.
yeah.
So I'm kind of stalling for Sandler because I thought he forgot his line. So I'm going like, like, and I'm looking at the cue card, and I don't know why we even have cue cards. It's like hibbity hobbity yabba hobbity. I don't remember if I said yabbity hibbity or hibbity yabbity. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't know what to do. Anyways, I got to finally my line. We did that, and it was just an honor to do it with him right in front of him, because it's just, and he's just such a good dude, and he was so happy that that night, and his wife Jackie and 2 kids were there, and they're beautiful. I love those kids, and it was just, anyways, that was good. And then at the end of the night, he did this tribute to Chris Farley.
Yeah.
And if you get a chance to go online, it was so beautiful, and it was so funny too. But I've heard all the stories about Farley, and I wish I knew him. I got to meet him once, but he was singing this song, and it's great, but it's also a really nice tribute, and everyone was just crying backstage, and it was just really touching. I mean, not just the audience, but everybody that worked there, because the crew, some of the crew, they knew Farley.
Yeah.
So, and I was next to Rock, and it was really emotional. And I saw Smigel afterwards, and usually he's always joking around. You know, he's like, you know, whatever. So I saw him, and he goes, "Hey man, that was great." He's like, I go, "That was so touching." He goes, he was behind the cast, and the cast were all kind of hugging each other, crying, going like, "Yeah, we're like family." It's like you don't realize it when you're there on Saturday Night Live for whatever seasons you are there. You don't know when some cast members are going to go off to do movies, but that little moment of time, that window of time, you hang out more than your family. You really live with each other, and you don't realize it until you get older, and you go back and you go, "Oh my gosh!" And so he got me filling up, Smigel. So I started crying a little bit. I came up to your office to see if you want to ride over to the party together.
I was already drunk.
You don't even remember me coming and say hello.
When did you come? You
What,
were
put
there?
smelling salts. I was there. And as I was going up, I got an email from Horatio Sands, who's in L.A. He's like, "Dude, I'm watching the Sandler Show right now, and I'm just getting sentimental, just missing us and missing, you know." Aww. And I go, "Wait till you see the end."
Yeah.
I go, "You're going to see this Farley thing, and you're just going to lose it." This is like when the show first started, but anyways, it's just kind of interesting that I got a thing from Horatio. I feel like I vibed him, because me and Horatio were office mates and comedy partners for years. Yeah, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Horatio. And so I got that, and then what I thought was the best part was on Sunday, on Saturday night into Sunday, it was trending all day. It was Farley. Yeah. It was trending. And I just thought any kid that was in Mass or church Sunday and sneaking a look at Twitter got to see Farley's name. And he would have absolutely loved that. So I think that was
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.